small fishing boat like we have, you normally have three types of propulsion. You have the outboard motor, the trolling motor, and a paddle to get you by. This weekend when we were out fishing, we decided to move from one side of the lake to the other. And when I went to start the outboard motor, the rope broke on the motor. And I didn't really think it was that big of a deal because we still had our trolling motor. After an hour went by, the skies turned gray like it was going to storm, and we started to head back to the bank. However, the battery on the trolling motor apparently didn't get a full charge on it, and about 400 yards from the pier, it just quit working altogether, didn't have enough juice. So I got the paddle out and started paddling. Luckily for us, there was a nice family that came by, and we threw our rope to them and they were able to tow us to the pier. Normally I keep a toolkit in the boat for just such an emergencies, and in the video that I'm fixing to show of me fixing the pull start rope on this 1968 fast wind, you'll see how easy it is, and it is a repair that I could have done on the water. And I kick myself for leaving my toolkit in the back of my truck, because that's Prepared Lifestyle 101 stuff, is always making sure that you have your repair kits for not just your vehicle, but your boat, your ATVs, so forth. Now this is an 18 horsepower 1968 fast wind that I'm working on, and all inertia start or pull start outboard motors are basically the same. They just may have a little bit different design to how you get the assembly off. The only tools you need to change out the pull rope on an inertia start motor or pull start motor is, of course, the rope. On this Evinrude, I'm going to use a 1/4 inch drive, 3/8 inch socket with a 1/4 inch breaker bar, vice grips, and a screwdriver. And these are just to hold the spring-loaded mechanism open as I feed the rope through. There are just 3 bolts that hold this mechanism on. There's one here, one right here, and one right here on the other side. The way that this is designed, you can't fit a 3/8 drive socket in here, and that's why I'm using the 1/4 drive. Once you get those 3 bolts out, the whole assembly just lifts off. If you've never changed out the inertia rope on your outboard motor, I would take a file and go around the inside of this hole, because the casting on this leaves sharp edges and it will cut your rope real easy. Now that I've got my assembly out, I'm just going to wind the spring inside the casing. As you're winding, you can look through these holes and see how tight your spring is compressed. Once I get my spring compressed, I'm going to line my hole where the tag line comes out through and the inlet hole is. And then I'm just going to take a pair of vice grips and clamp it in place. With that done, I'm just going to thread my rope through that hole. And this is where a piece of wire will come in handy. Take and thread it to that hole. I'm going to take my wire, use it to lift the line out. While holding tension on the spring, I'm going to release my vice grips. And I'm just going to slowly let it go. I'm going to test it out a couple of times just to make sure it works right. Now we're ready to put it back on the motor. I'm not going to tighten these down one by one. I'm going to do them all at the same time so I can make sure that I have space to get my socket back in there in case I ever have to take this back off. I'm going to put this back in the toolkit that stays in the boat so that if emergencies arise, we can try to fix them on the water instead of struggling trying to get back to the bank. And again, I should have been able to do this on the water, but chance favors the prepared, and this time I wasn't. So make sure that you have your toolkits for your toys. Thank y'all for watching. We'll see y'all next time.